What was most interesting was the conversation that it started. Basically, what is that thing? And how many cars did you chop up to build it? When you explain that it's a factory Volkswagen, people are quite astonished. Hi, my name's Matthew and this is my 1969 Fridolin. Okay, so the German Postal Service basically commissioned Volkswagen to come up with a bit of a parts bin special that suited all their needs. So they came up with the Fridolin, or the Type 147 Kleinlieferwagen, using sort of a Type 3 front with a Kombi rear end on a Karmann Ghia pan with Beetle running gear. So when it comes to owning a Volkswagen, if you're only going to have one, have this one because it's got a bit of everything. Well, Fridolins were made from 1964 to 1974. Nothing much changed in that time. They produced 6,139 of the vehicles because they're a postal van and worked to death. There's probably only 150 or so left in the world, and probably 80 of those known to be sort of on the road and running at least. I believe there's only 2 in Australia, maybe 3. The others aren't customised as such. We sort of went to town on this one and maybe ruined it. The original plan with the Fridolin was to sympathetically restore it original as standard, not really touch it too much, no interior, put an extra seat in it and drive the hell out of it. Once we spent a bit more money on paint, the decision was made to maybe let's do an interior. But though, of course, they don't make anything for Fridolins, so it was from the word go, custom interior. I had to fabricate a passenger seat. Once we were into that, we decided to do custom carpet. So once we'd done custom carpet, which was a snowball out of control in regards to the money, we decided it needs a headliner and walls and things like that. So the whole interior is folded and rolled sheet aluminium. There's no timber in the car, and that's all covered in Napa leather and Alcantara. Probably my friends will tell me that that's how I do things, that I don't leave anything alone, but yeah, it quickly got out of hand. So when I found the car, I wasn't really in the market for one. Finding it and then knowing the rarity of the vehicle itself is what drew me to it. Having had many Volkswagens, from buses to Kombis and Karmann Ghias, like Samba buses and things, I always thought those were the pinnacle of the Volkswagen sort of culture, and sort of now realise, leaning towards something a bit weird and different that there aren't many of around, was the way to go. I was told that it came out of Germany, so I can only assume that it was probably part of the German Postal Service, not the Swiss. Pretty custom, and there's nothing much left of what was original, so we'll call this one an Australian postal van. The car itself was in half decent condition, little bits of rust, but someone had started a restoration and then left it for over a decade, I'm told. So it had its issues in that regard, where a lot of the work had to be redone. Right-hand drive conversions and swapping wipers over and all the little things that lots of people don't do, we still had to do. These Fridolins came with probably 16 buttons on the dash and everything else. Removed all those, removed the stereo hole that was there, hidden the horn buttons, put early knobs in there, made it all early. It's got Coney shocks all round, ball joint IRS. I tend to IRS all the cars that I have, but I've actually restored all the original running gear as well, so I believe it drives nicer. It's lowered, got a skin knuckles beam in the front. My wheel choice on this car was originally going to be 15-inch wheels and some fat tyres on the back, but once I had the wheels on there, I really thought they were too small. I really thought the front wheel arches on this car needed a bigger wheel. I was shopping on the internet one day and came across these in the States. The moment they came out of the box and were bolted on the car, we knew 17-inch wheels and wide rubber was going to be the way this car had to be. Yeah. We're running a 2-litre engine in the car, runs dual autos, an FK10 cam. You've got to rev it up a bit to sort of make it move. A1 exhaust. It's got about 100 horsepower on the wheels, which is fine, lots of torque. It's awesome to drive on the street, that's all we really need. So the colour choice is basically a 1955 Volkswagen Kombi colour, palm green, sand green. We didn't think it was going to work. When it came out of the booth, we really thought it was too light, but we didn't have the wheels on it yet. So we left it as is and pushed ahead. And once the wheels were bolted on the car and it had a bit of weight to the bottom of it, some black and things like that, and the bumpers were on the car, I think that the colour actually does suit the car quite well. Yeah. I guess the most interesting and fun part about the car, when you're driving it at least, it has the sliding doors. I'm not sure whether you're supposed to drive open with them or not, but we do. It is probably my favourite part of the car. It's like sitting in a big fishbowl. You know, it's loud, goes fast. You know, it's a convertible, but without the roof open. It's a hoot to drive. I'd like to think we've built a car that appeals to everybody. It's a custom car, and a lot of people wouldn't like the fact that we've modified a Type 147 or a Fridolin, it being rare, but I think that we've maintained that 60s aura about the vehicle. We haven't taken the interior and gone ultra modern or crazy with that. We've tried to honour its history and use a houndstooth pattern, for instance, and building an interior that really looked like something that would have been of a high end in the 1960s. And that also goes for the exterior of the vehicle. It may be lowered, it may have bigger wheels, but everything that's changed has respected the 60s styling. Custom but classic is what we were going for. Well, now that it's on the road and I've done some trips up and down the coast, I love driving it, and I thought this would quench my thirst in my Volkswagen world, but I don't think it has. I think there's plenty of other projects in the workshop, and there's plenty of other cars out there that I can probably find in the future, and I'm sure that we'll be building a few more in the future, yeah. Yeah, I don't do media normally, but the Purist came calling, and I said yes.